My boyfriend has been deliberately messing up chores so he wouldn't have to do them. Now he has broken something priceless, so I plan to treat him with the same courtesy he has given me. When my boyfriend and I started dating, we agreed to have a traditional relationship, where I take care of the house while he works 9 to 5. Recently, I asked my boyfriend if he could wash the dishes after dinner. He complained at first, but eventually agreed. Not even 5 minutes later, I'm in the garage and hear a loud crash. I ran into the kitchen to find my antique plates smashed into smithereens on the floor. My boyfriend said it was an accident and they slipped out of his hands. I was heartbroken, as these plates had been passed down in my family for a few generations. I asked why he was even washing them, and he said he saw them on the counter so he thought they were dirty. I usually keep them on the top shelf of my cabinet, so it made me a bit suspicious when he said that. Later on that night, I decided to check the footage from my living room camera. You can see inside the kitchen from its angle. Sure enough, I watched my boyfriend get the plates out of the cabinet, put some soap onto them, and deliberately drop them onto the floor, breaking them. I was so angry, and immediately confronted him with the video. I asked why he would purposely ruin something so precious to me, as I had done nothing to him. He said he was so sorry, and he didn't realize the plates meant that much to me, but he was trying to teach me a lesson, that I should know better than to ask him to wash dishes, as it's supposed to be my job, not his. He said it was like the time I asked him to do a load of clothes, and he accidentally left a pen inside one of the pockets. I had to throw out one of my favorite shirts because the pen had exploded. I was stunned, and asked if he did that on purpose as well. He said, well, yes, but only because I thought it would be the easiest way to communicate with you how I felt. I'm sorry for everything I destroyed, but you need to understand your place in our relationship as the caretaker. I was furious, and told him to get the hell out of my house. He just stood there and said he had squatter's rights as we had been living together for a few months now, so he wasn't going anywhere. I told him to get out or I'd call the police, and he just shrugged, saying they wouldn't do anything, and in the morning I would be over this whole mess anyway. He went into our bedroom and locked himself inside. Up till now, I had really enjoyed our arrangement, as it gave me time to work on my hobbies and mental health. It also helps a lot that I actually own the house we live in, and I run a small business on the side, so we aren't struggling at all. After the argument, I went into the guest room and just cried. I love my boyfriend, and we have always been really good together. We have the same goals in life, having kids and eventually getting a dog. We both enjoy hiking and rock climbing together, as well as going out clubbing now and again. But now I was starting to realize all the little ways he has manipulated me for the past year of our relationship. I didn't even want him to move in, but he convinced me to let him. I was torn between hurt and angry all night, and was unable to sleep. By the morning though, I had a plan. First, I called my lawyer and asked about my options to get him the hell out. He told me I could change the locks once he left, or he could start an eviction process. I said I'd be ready to change the locks, but he still might find a way in, so it would be best if he started the process. Then I went into the kitchen and acted as if everything was normal between us. I just didn't make any physical contact with him as I prepared breakfast. He sat down at the table, waiting to be served, just like every morning. Only this time, when his plate was given to him, all of the food was burnt to a crisp. The plate was also slimy from the previous night's food. He asked what the hell this was, as he couldn't eat it. I said, oops, guess I messed up a bit. He just shrugged and went back to the bedroom. I asked why he wasn't going to work, and he explained he had called out and was going to be staying home for the next few days. The bastard probably figured I would have changed the locks on him if he left. No problem. I'll just do some laundry then. I gathered up all of his white clothes and put them into the washer and started it. Only, when the load was done, it appeared that a red jacket had been mixed in, and now all of his white clothes were now pink. Oops again. I continued making trivial mistakes for the next week. My boyfriend got angrier and angrier the more in depth I got, and he hated that I also stopped cleaning up after him around the house as well. The only time there was a clean cup or dish was when I washed it for myself. Finally, the day came when my lawyer sent me some forms to hand him, as an official eviction notice. He had 2 weeks to get out, and if any of my possessions were broken and altered in any way for the rest of his stay, then he would be held liable to pay for the damages. He asked if I was serious about this, and tried to sweet-talk me, saying he loved me and didn't mean to hurt me, that he would work on himself and do better. But it wasn't his fault I hadn't held up my half of our original agreement. I told him I refused to live with a manipulator any longer, and won't let his lack of respect for me define how I live my life. He locked himself in the bedroom ever since, and I really hope he leaves before his time is up, because I don't want this to get even